The deep. Previously, more of the same but better. The organization continued to grind along, flourishing in the new era of having the rest of technology. And all there are a few remaining bullet points between us and having access to the final mission. And in the process of continuing to go about business, we identified a pretty ace team of matter control technicians. Not shown here as I scroll through these other folk. They're in here somewhere, though. Yeah, there we go. Girma. Ikarai. Alexei himself. Karl Gamesh. Yukov, Solomaz, the captain, and a few others who we just shipped in. Yeah, Greg, Sang, Yep, Garcia, Underwood, and the chosen one here, His Holiness, Tsar of all technology, Konstantin Kozlov. And we were able to successfully raid an artifact site using not our full shiny new ace team, but some of our old guard, what remains of our old guard. For as much of an old guard as you're ever able to accumulate in the com. Yes, we've already substituted them onto the ship, and I believe we already packed it full of new control gizmos. Yep, plenty of devices for everyone to pass around. So at this point, what remains is building enough magnet armor for a full team. And then building enough magnet armor, getting some practical experience onto our astounding potentials so that they'll be ready to actually perform reliably against difficult targets. And then just go. Then we do the thing. Let's conduct some training exercises. Let's see, did I give them I'm not going to bother with the bases. Those are actually much too expensive to carve up. Great rewards, but at this point I think we just have enough Zerbite in the stockpiles to fuel what remaining missions we need to conduct. Aquatoid battleship. Yeah, we can swing that. Do I want to at night? Yeah, just take a nap, give it some hours. If it's still there at close enough to dawn, maybe hereabouts? It's a hemisphere out. Ish. No, more like a quarter sphere? Hard to say. I'd managed to build up an intuitive sense of how quickly the old dropship could race the sun. I don't really have a feel for how much faster Leviathan is. Much faster. Okay. Wow. You just idle over there and wait for daybreak. That should do it. Question arises that I'm actually unsure about. I think if you launch the final mission and fail, it is a game over. You only have the one chance to get in there and save the world. Regular mission time again. No need for excessive landmines, especially since Obelisk Grid kind of suggested that maybe landmines are actually obsolete as a weapon and could have been so for a while. Put your pistols down so I can redistribute them to the new front line. Congratulations, you're all promoted to regular gun. Enjoy. Take your drills as well, I suppose. Yeah, we lost a lot of supplemental gear that wasn't on people. Workplace accidents. I've caused several armed smoke grenades to wind up sitting in the inventory. I will fix that. Smoke, I would say, has remained firmly useful. Noticeable improvements to survivability when smoke is employed. You were of adequate control rating. And it is over here that the high potentials begin. Here's a dividing line. Our perhaps unreasonable volume of matter control technology. Greg, you will not need a gun. You're part of the new age, Greg. Have some grenades around, just in case they become necessary. But regular, conventional projectile weapon? Hell no, Garcia. You missed the memo. You're on the matter control team. And yeah, Underwood made the cut. Okay, yeah, we've looped around. Johan's at the front of the line. The line, which has gotten long enough that the control techs are now standing in front of the door. There are things I dislike about this ship. It's that one, that's the thing. at least we're walking into a wall. That is a lot of MC devices. We are thoroughly network enabled right now. And I'm supposed to review the stakes that we've learned via plot research. Our adversaries of the deep, survivors of, well, survivors in very broad quotation marks. Remains of a failed attempt by, same old alien civilization to colonize Earth tens of millions of years ago. They sent a rather sizable, extensive, city ship of a boat earthwards to settle in, and they did it wrong. They kind of boarded the landing. It was less than pleasant. And so the response was just to kind of give up on Earth for, countless aeons. However, that was not dead, which could just, suppose properly deployed the safety features-ish. Because the dread technologies of the deep were able to, keep the alien cyber brain that was in charge of the colony effort intact. Ish. Between life and death. And I hack this jellyfish. And all of its operations are its kind of half-mad, partially disorganized, still kind of vaguely focused efforts to finish reassembling and resurrecting itself. The city can be restored to functionality and set loose upon the Earth. This would be bad for humans. We're just gonna prevent that. Ideally. By putting together a powerful enough team and just going all the way down. The lowest depths. Well, not actually all that deep in terms of ocean depth, because the wreck itself is in the Gulf of Mexico, which, as far as I know, doesn't contain any particularly deep ocean trenches, not in terms of ocean trench. Which is a pretty powerful metric. Trenches have very high-low standards. Because said colony ship, its failure to land, and resulting disastrous impact, it's the thing that killed the dinosaurs. We're in. We have control. Also, interesting thing, although they appear identical regardless, they just have the one sprite, hallucinoids do have a direction that they face. And this is relevant because, let's see if I go in here. Oh, actually, their sidewise, their armor scheme is symmetrical. But I believe, like, their melee attack can still only occur in the direction they're pointing, which you have no way of identifying by looking at it. Like, if I just spin the jellyfish around here, did you see the change? I didn't. And yeah, that's why we have so many Dino Men among the aliens. It's because they're like the originals, the classics. There was perhaps some sort of dino civilization that had less than friendly contact with the spacemen. Or their remains. Like, who knows, maybe, like, dino scientists tried to excavate the impactor at some point in the distant past. Had a less than pleasant time of it. Wind up with a bit of an Event Horizon scenario. Now there's a story waiting to be told. The adventures of these dino scientists trying to figure out what this giant fuck-off space rock that just ruined the climate is. See if it has any answers, any secrets, any powers. There's the mysteries. It's a choice of placement that, well, you know, it has just first order, like, hey, yeah, science fiction trope sense. In, like, ongoing, a lot of calm lores, tribute to other sci-fi stuff. Just, yeah, ancient lizard men! And so forth. Like, I mean, it's deep ones. It's Cthulhu. We're fighting Cthulhu later. Maybe this session, maybe the next, depending on how much, you know, legwork it takes to get the MC team properly dusted off. But yeah, the choice position does sort of raise the question of people probably would have noticed such an object unless it had had time to, like, get really buried or flipped over by other activity. They chose a spot that is not actually supremely deep. It's not like the mid-either ocean where there are extreme depths, mysterious, that remain unexplored, unobserved. The mysterious noise holes. Not terribly deep and surrounded by human settlement, so it's reasonably well explored and patrolled. It is on the front door of what for the last most of a century has been the largest navy on Earth. And, like, the front porch of the largest navies of the preceding centuries, although those were navies that didn't really have any strong tools for observing the depths, so... I could easily forgive, you know, mariners of the Wood Age not noticing an ancient city buried beneath the waves. Although surely, like, some manner of submariner or counter-submariner would have noted strange noise object in the Gulf. Which is another story waiting to be told. And don't say Prisoner of Ice, because that's not about any of those things. It may start on a submarine and be about Cthulhish things, but come on, that doesn't count. There's a good story waiting to be told out of that. Someone not pretty familiar, Prisoner of Ice was an adventure game made, I'm not sure which year. That is about folks during the Second World War encountering ye ancient shenanigans of the depths around Antarctica. It's a kind of half sequel to Shadow of the Comet, which was another earlier adventure game that's a retelling of Shadow over Innsmouth. They have their charms and their quirks. They are certainly products that were made. No further contact reestablished, though I know there are like 2 further ones standing out in the field. Then who knows how many stacked inside the boat itself. Or enough to... yes, good. Free smoke. It's like twice over enough smoke to drop the... or enough time to drop the smoke. So helpful. Yeah, I'm being a little ginger with my soldiers out here, but with the support of, you know, my brute force attack here, my full DDoS worth of control techs, I really should feel safe using my scouts recklessly. Is there anyone whose equip load is denying them multiple actions? Yeah, Garcia. Lighten you up. Well, that took care of itself. But yeah, story is definitely waiting to be told the moment you, like, raise remark about them. You know, what if? Yeah, what if? Some sort of mariner cruise encountering mysterious noises within the deep. Perhaps do it in layers, have like crew of sub and crew of other boat hunting subs. Both of which must slowly face horrible realization that there is in fact something much more dangerous than either of them. That they are not alone. Perhaps both are being hunted. By what exactly, naturally, left as an exercise? The particular implementation? Fish monster, squid monster, space fish, squid monster, giant shark, possibly mechanical in nature. Shark which is not especially large, but in fact a composite entity of many tiny sharks. Nano sharks. Vague, nebulous, dreadful presence. Perhaps just a particularly aggressive shade of color. A hungry hue. Alright, these are the tools I will use to open the door. Move up enough to maintain contact. Hopefully we find more targets once I open the doors. We have a lot of text and not a lot of things for them to manipulate. We need more data. The sample size on this ship is a little lacking. And then again, maybe they're all dead. It would appear that we've kind of ruined this thing. What would it take to just get ourselves a bin of training lobsters? Also, yeah, they forgot to redraw this button as anything else. Weird oversight. What is a PSI, and why does that matter? What does air pressure have to do with our control technology? The alien's pneumatic? stand you back outside, so I have my point of contact. Alright. Another round. For which, against such durable targets, even our most gifted but inexperienced technicians, they're gonna spend most of their time missing. You need a bit of practical skill to be able to break into one of these. Which hopefully they'll acquire. Accumulating to fail the tax per turn. Getting some degree of economy. I disarmed the one on the bridge there, so he's not important. I like to set myself up a chain so that I can properly probe the interior. I'll grab him in the hopes that he can see the other leftover. Yeah, there it is. And there hasn't been further reactions. That might be the extent of the vessel's crew. In which case, first of all, let's grab this navigator and just drag him out on the lawn and administer maintenance. Come here, friend. And he's just actually trapped up here. Without battle damage to tear open either the outer hull or this railing, Zakotoid just can't go anywhere. Hmm. There we go. Everything is fine. Alright, confirmed. Nothing else in here. I'll make this the last round of training control here. Last deliberate round. I'm in the process of working on cleaning up these fish. Please form an orderly mass. All will receive maintenance at the appropriate time. The human is here to help. Perform all necessary measures to facilitate the human. You have been maintained. Service human away. Fine rating. Good mission. Promotions for everyone. Yeah, oddly enough, the hallucinoid survived that. It went down with a non-lethal injury. We just have a live jellyfish in storage again. Our good friend. Yeah, 240 zerobytes sitting in storage. Here at the main base, where we need a couple of those per suit to get the magnet armor up. I think we're gonna be alright. And let's see here to review how much practical skill we're picking up. Yeah, the best of the veterans are getting up there to the 70s and 80s. The second wave are in their 50s for skill ratings. And the rookie technicians are still way down there at their basic, barely past initiation levels. Garcia's making progress. Really, I do need to find them a training boat of lobster. And now let's see, the unit spread was such that I think these two were in front of the door. Let's try to get a little closer to our final distribution of soldiers. Yeah, we're seeing a dozen control technicians. I guess Germa's just going to be held in reserve, unless... Is Germa better than any of the ones we have in the field right now? Yes, absolutely. With that 90s, yeah. Who's the least powerful of the team? Looks like Alex and Underwood. Not that that's much of a difference since Alex is reasonably trained. I'll keep Germa in reserve. Germa's backup. And so, yes, the question remained that, let's see. Essentially, the problem was that a lot of the people at the start of the list are still at the nose of the ship. That is the deal here, that this cluster up here of assault folk were standing not to the side where the door is. They're oriented as if the door is supposed to be on the nose. Who knows, maybe it was in some earlier version. Oh, no, adaptive, you stay there. Who was I trying to move? Greg. Okay, let's try putting some of the new breed up here. That should maybe sort out the positioning problem. Gunfolk in the middle, sandwiched between the matter control blobs. Hey, supply lobsters! Just what I was looking for. Leviathan, away. Oh yes, leave everyone equipped as they were. The gear was all sensible. Probably skim back the amount of smoke. Since gunplay is no longer our core tool of violence, we don't need to rely on smoke screens as heavily. Visibility is now firmly our friend. Okay, so Sled and Underwood are standing where the door is. And we've successfully migrated 4 of the control team up to the actual front. The assaults wound up pushed back to this middle block here. The rifles are there, and then the heavies are back here and at the front of each of these rows. Okay, this is a layout that would make a lot of sense if the door were here. But it's not. Real pity about that. Alright, go find me a lobster. Get me a hook. Get me... Oh, on the roof even. Do we have access? We're in. Just to get it out of the way, let's shuffle our pistoliers out the door. Get them all moving scout-wise. Anyway, back to control spam. Hack some lobster. Ah, well, good we didn't overlook you. Come along, though. You just, yeah, stand near one of our friendly command technicians. Edge of the map there, edge of the map there. We are happy to assist you. The humans are here to help. Alright. I am considering sending this one inside. I might not have to. He has a friend. Now we are all his friends. Alright, we nearly have a full communication path set up here. Comprehensive lobster coverage. You are right where I want you. Problem was I had not yet controlled this lobster. Now, do we have any unaccounted for? Our current spread of creatures seen. Just one. Alright, yeah, now that we have an access point via the front door, feel alright about sending other lobsters to probe other parts of the ship. At least one remained free. Prioritize letting all the new blood swing at this appropriately adjacent lobsterman. Okay, my lobster uplink was not perfect. It is at points lacking. For this, I must employ further lobster. Also further human, but, you know, human are a means to acquiring lobster. And now I left one of them out on the lawn. One on the lawn, one near the door. Right, Claire's a little overburdened. Drop your med kit. So by last known intel, there should be at least 2 outside, or near outside. There they are. Yeah, there. Now we start hauling them in. Just leave out as few as necessary to keep network cohesion, and start pulling all the extras out and gunning them down. I need only enough lobster for signal fidelity. Marine life is an extremely lossy communication protocol. Ah, roof lobster, you're still about. Out enjoying the fresh sea, well, moisture, I suppose. The depths, the pressure? I don't know what climate traits are thought of as fair or unfair. The pH balance? Viscosity? Maybe levels of dissolved oxygen. There's a live one. Like, really, who knows? Have our scientists, in the process of conducting lobster interviews, ever asked about lobster comfort? If they ever get a chance to think about such things in between the unending, agonized screaming of their half-dead overminds twisting about in its unending slumber. What do we know of lobster culture? Their music among the lobster people. Do lobsters draw art? Do they sculpt? Do they collect stamps? Do lobsters have a postal system? Do they need one? Is postage a fundamental aspect of civilization? No, you briefly spotted an uncontrolled lobster. Who have I missed on the main floor? Not gripped you yet. Stand by. We just log on to this fish. Just try to position as many of you as far outside as possible. Alright, let's see. Yeah, one at the door. One ready to jump up the elevator. And then upon, like, re-grabbing him, I can have him walk over, snag this one, and they will all rush back out together. Yeah, that works. Means these three are up for sacrifice. Let marksmanship training commence. Yep, right up. Test your luck. Yeah, since while the most important kind of experience together right now is practical on my control technicians, also don't want to neglect gunmanship. Don't want some reasonably accurate shootmen. People with reflexes and so forth. The other skills. And I'll probably just try to drag the lobsters out to a more visible location. In here between the wrecks seems about right. I mean, the coral complicates things, but we can work with that. That just adds to the challenge. Worth more points. Alright, let's try that out now. If I just get you out from around the corner here. Say my veteran heavies lay into you. They can try. Ryan's what they're for. Oh, I missed one. Oh, the forgotten lobster. Fortunately, we have become invincible. Here I was worried about finding enough targets. Who was I to doubt the bounties of the sea? Anyway, let's go through the motions for the forward lobster. Those two are gonna have to collaborate a little. We've a bit of a snag in the line. Can't quite abandon the interior yet. Almost there, though. Well, he hit something. That counts for something on the report. Shots were fired and Lobster perished. It is technically what you were instructed to do. Won't fault you for it. Have to maybe work on the particulars of your technique. Anyways, with this lobster is now under control. There's just a few candidates left in the interior, and the possibility that any of those remaining closets that I didn't prod could contain more monsters. Okay, this might do it. There, one more round and we'll be able to get everybody outside. Or close enough to it. Very important Earth defense business that we extract as much learning as possible out of every lobster. This is how we learn to command the tides. This is how we defeat the ocean. Tough lobster. See, this is good. They're all learning and struggling together. Yeah, no one was left inside. Our final 4 contestants. keep things moving vaguely forward. We can't be here all night, but we do have the afternoon. Constantine seems like he's getting in the flow. Although that's probably just, you know, selective bias at this point. I don't think their stats actually improve until the mission is over. I feel like he's having better luck. Kind of one of the statistical difficulties of training your tech folks. Successful hacks are worth a lot more than attempted hacks. You have this very awkward early phase where your amateur is just kind of tripping over themselves trying to get into the system. And then they hit the tipping point where they can start reliably hitting some enemies, and then that just causes them to take off. We missed one. Something isn't dead yet. No one alive on the roof. But perhaps they're still at large. The hunt. Lack of door sound suggests it's either outdoors or inside but sitting still. And if we're outdoors, my hoverman would be able to find it pretty easily. Where could it be? The final lobster. It is probably in one of these supply closets, or otherwise on the bottom floor. The one place I didn't thoroughly sweep. There we go, door noise. In here somewhere. Well, hello there. Expected final lobster. There, that did 2 live ones. Many more non-alive ones. No damn Zerbite. Interview with a jellyfish. Science team reassuring us, please take this seriously. It is quite dangerous. Do not become complacent in the face of goo. Literally just a very large jellyfish. These harmless sailors of the deep. How did that go for experience? Yeah, they're starting to nudge their way forward a bit. Right, I can also go ahead and adjust the team order to actually put gunmen where they belong via the roundabout methods necessary. I want to put gunfolk here, where they already are, yeah. Except I actually want rifle folk to be there. And I want some pistol folk to be down where Underwood is right now. Havoc. Dorits. This was a task made much easier by the presence of GUI and Xenonauts. Just here's a picture of the ship. Put people where you want them. I just take these 4 and slide them up to just behind the main pod. Or just those 2, let's say. wait, now Civikov is part of tech team. Wait, yeah, that's why I'm repositioning it. Alright, that should be closer to the layout I actually want. We'll do another training mission for further exp to verify how much closer or farther I am from my ideal distribution of folks. Alright, encounter table, what you got? Gilman attacking a Mediterranean base. Quaint. It can wait till morning. Alright, once more, Leviathan. On a valiant training exercise. Alright, so what has this done for the team layout? Alright, people with guns are in front of the door. Good. That's progress. One of them has a pistol, even. We've achieved 4 matter techs up in the nose. And yes, this is the shape I was hoping to produce, by and large. We're very close to proper. Where, actually, yeah, there might be benefit to having a heavy up front. Just that if we open the door and there's a hard target right there in front of it, you know, we can put some firepower into it. So yeah, the remaining adjustment I would want is Underwood and Civikov need to slide back 4 more spaces so that they end up on this row. These folks end up here ready to charge forward and deploy. Speaking of, let's charge forward. How's love? Establish control. May not prove much of a training mission. Small number of Gilman, and Gilman aren't particularly resistant. We will see. We should be able to see that Gil from there. Certainly see that Gil. And we are making contact. And for the most part, I would like to just bring them together and drop the hammer on them. And now that I have the layout close to calibrated, I might shuffle some more pistoliers back over to being riflemen. Riflemen or even heavies. We're running it now 6, 4, and 4. Or the gun having side of our field team. Gilman also just don't have the raw foot speed that makes them particularly useful as scouts. They can see plenty far. So slow. Just start dragging in the nets. One fish in a time. Alright then. Target practice. Alright, that was not all of them yet. I've been perhaps a smidge premature in discarding all of my spotters. No more than a smidge, though. Service will be restored shortly. Alright, we'll have to replace a human. Rise to recklessness. These things happen. Of all things, it's Gilman. They bring out the hubris. And will throw off the formation. And still not done. Gonna be a straggler in the boat. There you are. And he has a drill. Harmless. One workplace accident. These things happen. Alright, so we can sub in Gurma. As if I'd planned it all along. Oh, Gurma's wounded, that's why. There is in fact a reason the Gurma was not on field duty that I kept overlooking. Yeah, they're down for a whole month. Let's not use Gurma. Ideally, the world will be saved before Gurma gets out of the hospital. Is there anything wrong with Sokolov? Nothing known. Sokolov is in fact quite effective. Welcome back, Sokolov. Or which? I wanted to slide these two. And then let's see. Lieutenant Sled is standing in the other spot that's up at the door. But I think I'm alright with that. That aspect of the formation is fine. This should now make it so that all of the gun folk are clustered in the middle, and all of the control techs are around the perimeter. So next on the old to-do list is magnetizing everyone. And more suits to have a full crew's worth. Which could be ready in 7 days. I'll use this Gillman escort to verify that the formation is in fact properly unborked. And ideally not trade any more lives for having done it. We'll see. It's just an escort, it'll be fine. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Ah yes, you've been out since that event. You with the classic loadout. Ah, vintage Sokolov. Look at you, Bomb Squad veteran Sokolov. Okay, quick visual inspection. We got matter ticks up front, matter ticks comfortably in the back, and along the flanks. Front line of pistol and heavy, gooey nougat center of pistols, pistol and heavy along the back, and nice core of rifles and remaining heavies there. Good. Formation achieved. Good morning, friend Fishman. Fortunately, we are armored heavily. But how well armored is your brain? And there you go, demonstrated. Like statistically, that little scratch of damage there is about as much as a noise rifle should be able to do. More so against the rear plate. Rear plate noticeably less strong than the front plate. But yeah, common noise rifle. No longer a high threat. And for the proper endgame version of the team, everyone will have magnet armor, so the full gunnery squad could just pile up on the roof and lay down a nice field of fire against anybody. Neutralize all local sources of guff. Oh yeah, I didn't do like the check of how much numbers had gone up in the control team. Constantine at 30 skill. That's a pretty fair barometer. Yeah, that's about the point where I can start expecting them to land hits. Wow, what a pristine vessel we have here. Barely shot down at all. I think it'll actually be good for some Zerb. Alright, I think we can initiate processing here. Against such soft targets, we won't be able to milk out much in the way of marksmanship exp. That's fine, though. Not a big deal. More of a deal is I might have trouble re-establishing contact with the Gilman on the far side of the hill when I left standing hereabouts. Yeah, where the hell are you, Gilman? I have to hope he prioritizes the captive over anything sensitive. Or maybe you're in range. Fly you forward. Nope. Weird. Oh, scatter. There, that worked out. And there was, in fact, a further Gilman who I'd overlooked. Good spotting, other Gilman. They bring out the hubris in me. A healthy 50 Zerg, and a formation confirmed. Yeah, schedule-wise, rest of the suits of armor are ready on the 18th. And then the depths? Go work, science team. Rest easy. They're done with all the glamorous, high-profile discovering, and now they can just kind of settle into the meat of the research, all the grinding through data, looking for edge cases, filtering out statistics. All the tedious clinical trials and interactions and sub-studies. Determine the optimal temperatures and pressures and marinades for frying space fish. I could easily be turning some of these into more training missions, but I feel like the team is kind of close enough to ready. Just going through here again, yeah, we got folks from the B team hitting the high 30s for applied skill. And our veterans, look at the Solmaz, 91 practical. And Hakeem at a comfortable 75. Nice, got him just before the shore. Proper infiltration mission. Full on dreadnought. Well, get my fish in the water. I'm sorry, could you repeat that? I guess, is it still at approach speed? Alright, got it in one. Promote that meta. Alright, that should now be the point where we have... Oh, someone was wounded. Come on. Sled. Sled, how long are you out for? You were barely scratched, Sled. Tomorrow. Okay. Acceptable. See if we have all our armor in place. Yeah, there it is. A full crew of magnet armor. And Sled is out of observation. For action. Yeah, not really hospitalized, just felt a little woozy, needed a sick day. Yeah, Sled will be properly equipped when we go about deploying. Like, the soldier remembers what they were using last. So whenever you redeploy, they will try to re-equip themselves with whatever they used before. As of their previous mission. So now here we are. ready to enter the deep.